Gratitude. It's the secret to living a happy life. It's the key to not obsessing with wanting more. It's the key to being present and living a more simple life. Gratitude actually puts you in the energy of receiving more abundance. There will always be turmoil in the world, but if I can focus on gratitude, my heart and mind can have rest. Others may complain today, but I will feel gratitude. In 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 3 and 4, it says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you." Much awaits us in the next life. God gave us his wonderful and powerful promises so that as a result, we will share his divine nature. 2 Peter 1:4. I know my greatest treasure and blessing would be full-time working in the home. The scarcity feelings keep kicking in though, and I feel this urge and need to hustle, to get more money. It's not necessary. I can relax. I am safe. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be and where God wants me to be. The urge to be, quote, in the world is stronger than ever when you decide to leave. Whatever it is you are pursuing before homemaking shows up everywhere. The intention of the adversary is to pull women away from homemaking, and he does it so subtly. And just like that, you're trapped back in the rat race of work, the earn more money energy. I found myself wanting less of the things I thought I wanted before, and wanting to be a partner with God for the things he wants for me. The temptations and distractions to abandon the homemaker role has been great. Going back to my old ways of shopping, spending, scrolling, watching TV, the old urges are still there. I'm working hard not to relapse. God is calling me to a greater life. And if I just trust him, I know everything will be okay. I'm making a sourdough sandwich loaf so that we can have some bread for sandwiches around here if anyone wants anything like that. Plus, I can always take a loaf to a friend, which I do have a friend's birthday coming up, and it's actually today at a ham radio lunch. So I'm just making a couple extra loaves of bread so I can take to share with the ham radio group, and then one to give to my friend for his birthday. I think he's turning 73. So I have friends of all ages, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to say that, to be able to get along and really connect with people who are much older than you or much younger than you is truly a gift. And one of the greatest gifts I'm trying to work on right now is really trying to connect on a deeper level with my own children. Sometimes the hardest people to connect with are the ones that are right in your home, day in and day out. And as your little children turn into teenagers, it really can be a whole different ball game for some of you parents out there. Of course, if you homeschool, they're already used to that dynamic of being with you and desiring to spend that time with you. So it probably will be a nice, smooth transition. Probably, I say. You never know. My kids go to a charter school. And I homeschooled the first few years of their life. And then they really wanted to go try a school out. So they ended up going to a nice charter school, and they made great friends. They actually really loved it. And despite my attempts to get them back in the homeschool world, I just felt like God was saying, I need your children on the front lines. It's time for them to really shine as you've taught them all you can teach them in the home. Let them now go off to school and be on the front lines and bring others to Christ in that way, and step up and be able to resist temptation and have a different trial, a different life than a homeschooler might have. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard as a parent to let your kids go off for that long all day, and you know that what they're learning isn't the greatest of stuff. There's some great stuff too, but there's a lot of stuff you wish they weren't learning. And that can be really, really challenging. But I keep referring to that voice in my head that says, I need your children on the front lines right now. We definitely are living in a world where there's light and dark, and so many children have no choice but to go to school. And they don't have a great home life. So when you have children like my children who have been taught about Jesus Christ, and you get to send them off to school in hopes that they will be a good example and a strong witness of Christ to their friends and bring others to the light, well, I guess I couldn't hope for more as a mother, to have little missionaries out there at such young ages doing his work. So I know it's a thing to be a homeschooler, and it's an amazing, wonderful decision you get to make if that's the decision the family agrees on. And that can change too. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it just doesn't. But don't beat yourself up, because if you just don't resist your life so much and what's happening in it, and you can learn to truly let go of what you think your life is or was supposed to look like, boy, does peace come a lot easier to those people. This year we're heading into the holidays, and I'm very, very excited to really warm up my home with amazing sense of baking and food cooking, just togetherness, decorating the tree. I'm thinking about all of that. I'm thinking about helping so many women experience a calm, organized November as they start to head into December. Of course, if you're watching this after the fact, that's okay too. But I've just got a lot of these things on my mind of what I want to organize and have prepared so that when December 1st hits, my life feels calm, relaxed. I have a plan. I know what I'm doing. So I had decided to just host in my Facebook group over on Facebook at Nourished Connections, just whoever wanted to join there, to come on in for 10 days. We're going to be doing a challenge, a 10-day Christmas organization challenge. Doing some cleaning, some planning, some meal planning for your holiday meals, your Thanksgiving meal, your Christmas Eve, Christmas morning breakfast, your presents, your neighbor gifts, your budget, planning it all so that when December 1st comes, that's not something that we're going to be stressed about. We're not going to be stressed about getting presents on December 21st or so, 22nd, and then hope that it gets here in time. That's not what's going to happen this year. We're going to think about it thoroughly, plan and strategize and budget for what we want our December to look like, because I do believe that every mother no matter what your role is, whether you're a working mom, whether your kids go to school, whether you homeschool, you definitely deserve to have a quiet, peaceful, calm holiday season where your home just feels so good to be in. In addition to getting ready for that 10-day organization challenge, I've got these big plans to build a farm stand. So in the attempt to really take more time off of my part-time job that I work just 3 days a week now, I was able to take an extra day off so that I'm not so busy with that. I want to build a farm stand, and I want to be able to share my sourdough bread with others, and my salves that I make, or my jams, jellies, pickled jalapenos, whatever I want to make. I want to be able to share it, my candles, my soap. So I've been taking apart wooden pallets because this thing is going to be built from wooden pallets. That was free wood that I could just pick up, disassemble, and build a farm stand. And of course I have help. I love when the universe just sends me the right people at the right time to get the job done, because I had told a couple people about this project I want to do, and this gentleman approached me in my church and said, I'm a woodworker and I hear you want to do this and I want to help you build this. And that was just incredible. So I'm very grateful for the help. What I love about baking and making bread is just getting my hands on that dough and getting my hands into the work and just seeing textures and how things are supposed to feel and look, and get a really good sense of that, so that my food can turn out really, really well, as planned and expected. And sometimes it doesn't, and I've had to keep practicing and trying until I get it right. When I make a yeast bread, like I'm doing today on my sourdough sandwich bread, it rises really fast, and it's from start to finish just a 3-hour process. So that's exciting. That's why I like to start that one first thing in the morning, and then we can have bread same day. Sourdough is going to take a couple days of planning and thinking until it comes together. I love hosting people at my house as well. My parents are coming for a visit, and I'm just getting this upstairs loft area clean and tidy for them, scrubbing the bathtub, getting their bed all ready to go, the living room area. There's a lot to think about when you have guests, and I like to pay attention to detail. Do they have everything they could possibly need? How could I even make it better? What do I need to have up here to make it a better space for them? Well, it looks like the bread has risen. It's been an hour and it looks great. I'm going to be popping it into the oven. It's interesting that when you really start paying attention to homemaking, you start making lists in your head of all the things you hope to get to clean someday soon, as you have a little bit more time to do that. So definitely need to clean off the fridge and clean out the fridge. But I'm going to go ahead and cut myself a piece of sourdough bread here and just let myself take a little rest from all the chores I've been doing. I'm making myself a nice hot cup of Pero with some monk fruit sweetener in it and a little organic heavy whipping cream, and that is what I absolutely love. as we head into fall season. I don't drink this during the summer months. It's so hot here in Arizona. If I was a coffee drinker, and I'm not a coffee drinker, but if I was, I still wouldn't drink it in the summer because it's just so hot. But as the weather starts to change here in Arizona, I like to get out my mug of something warm. Sometimes it's a detox tea that I'm drinking, like a milk thistle or a nettle tea. Sometimes it's my Pero or some Creo brew. Sometimes it's a mushroom elixir of some sorts. Once in a while, someone will introduce me to something that doesn't have caffeine in it, but that kind of gives you that nice cozy feel. And that's always fun too. This little frother that I have has been my favorite product of the year. I think I'm going to send them out as Christmas gifts because I've really enjoyed this frother. And it has all these attachments to it where I can chop veggies really quick, and it has a whisk attachment. I can mix up anything with a whisk. It just gets it done, and it does the job well. Been super happy with this kitchen tool. I just did a 5-day Whole Foods seasonal reset challenge. Every season I like to host and lead a group of individuals into just 5 days of whole foods. No caffeine, no alcohol, no sugar, no flour, no dairy. And so we're done with that now. Introducing a little bit of that back into my life, and I feel great. I actually did lose about 3 pounds, so hopefully we can keep it off, but it's the holidays, so I'm not holding my breath. But I do feel amazing when I'm just on a complete whole foods diet, and I like to just challenge myself every season to do that, for sure. On another note, my band will be performing on New Year's Eve somewhere here in Arizona. I'm not quite sure the location yet, but we were asked to do a 3-hour gig, so we'll be performing. We've been practicing, and we're getting better and better. So I've been in a band for about 3 years now, and I sing and I play the tambourine. I have an acoustic guitar here I've been working on. I love getting my instruments out and just really working on them during the holiday season. I wish I could play the piano. At least I wish I could play it better. But I am working on it. I'm working on developing more skills, more talents, more gifts to share with whoever wants to bask in my gifts. And I like to enjoy other people's musical talents and gifts as well. So I just think it's a great world when we're all just sharing something that we do and we're learning. If you're reading a good book, I like when you share that with me too. Anything that can help me be a better person and develop my skills and talents and not waste my time or be idle, I am all about that. One thing there's never going to be a shortage of, ladies, is dishes to do. The second you think you have them done, you'll come back and look, and there will be more to do. But don't look at that as a bad thing. Look at that as a blessing. A blessing that people are around you enjoying a meal, enjoying food, and that you have amazing dishes to cook on. Slowing down for me doesn't mean that I take a load off my plate and say no to a bunch of stuff. Actually, I say yes to a lot of things. I also say yes to naps. But slowing down for me really just means slowing down my brain. If my brain tries to make something a problem, then it's going to actually be a problem for me. So sometimes when I look at things going on in life, maybe it's a health concern or somebody or a financial concern, I can make that a huge problem in my brain, or I can not make it a problem at all. I can just slow down my brain and let my brain just be calm and be soft amidst the chaos. Just knowing I can release it, relax, allow, and let go, and trust that God's got me. It's going to be okay. And I truly, truly believe that that is the work to do in this life, is learning how not to resist what is, but having more trust and having more faith that everything, and I mean everything, is going to work out for you. And that might mean in some cases for some people, their time on earth is cut short. But if you still believe that that is exactly the way it was supposed to go and you stop resisting, boy, you're going to feel so much better. The secret to life. Stop resisting and start trusting. And I would also add to spend more time thinking about what you do want and less time thinking about what you don't want. Envision the life you do want to have more than you focus and dwell on the bad things that are happening. I have a lemon tree in my backyard, but so does my neighbor, and hers has these tiny lemons that drop down into my yard. I am just making an all-purpose natural cleaner by cutting up those lemons, filling up a quart mason jar. I'll also do a pint mason jar because I've got more to use. And then just filling that bottle up with vinegar. And then I label these and I let them sit in my pantry for about 3 to 6 weeks. At that point, if I want to add some essential oil to kind of give it a different smell, I kind of don't mind the lemon vinegar smell, but I can add some kind of scent in there to a spray bottle. I have these glass amber spray bottles I use for cleaning, and it works out really great. So I just stick it right here on my shelf. And I'll also be able to sell some at my farm stand. All right, we're gonna grab a loaf of bread here and just start slicing it. We'll put it in a Ziploc bag so we can take it with us to the ham radio lunch and share it with our ham radio friends. I'm convinced that the best gift you can ever give a friend on their birthday is a hot loaf of fresh homemade bread. Any kind of bread, it really doesn't matter. But I have found that people really appreciate and love a good loaf of bread. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to see you in the next one.